Heads up, this week we have a special live version of the Gumbo. We recorded it on August 9th at Saturn in Birmingham for the WBHM Junior Board's Y'all Things Considered show. From the Gulf States Newsroom, this is the Gulf States Gumbo, your weekly serving of stories from Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. I'm sports and cultural reporter Joseph King, chopping it up this week. And we are live from Saturn in Birmingham, Alabama. One more time. All right. We are here for WBHM's Y'all Things Considered, hosted by the WBHM Junior Board. And I'm here with economic mobility reporter Stephan Bisaha. What's up, Stephen?
Hey, it's good to be with you, Joseph.
Now, we want to take the time explaining what the Gulf States Newsroom is, but first, we thought we'll pick a story from our vault to show what we do. So, Stephen, what do you have for us tonight?
Well, you know, if there's one thing we love to do in Birmingham, it is complain about our water bills.
Yeah, I know some folks out there got something to say.
Yeah, there is a long history here of billing problems with Birmingham Waterworks, from, you know, bills being wrong to just like missing for months. I know I've experienced that. I'm betting a lot of people here have also dealt with that, or at least know someone who does. But I think I got a bad bill story that's better than anyone you've ever heard. Let me first introduce you to the two people that shared the story with me.
Yeah, so I'm Megan Taylor, and I live in Gardendale, Alabama.
Hi, I'm Will Taylor. I'm Megan's husband and a resident of Gardendale.
Yeah, I met both Will and Megan, and we had an open house at WBHM a couple of years ago.
We moved to the Birmingham area, to Gardendale, in August of 2021. We had kind of heard, like, expect high water bills. There's kind of some stuff that's happened with the water board, like, but it shouldn't be excessive.
I'm assuming since we're hearing from them, it's pretty excessive.
Yeah, it's going to get excessive. But for a while, you know, their bills were doing pretty good. They're about what you would expect for their house. Then one day, they had a plumber come in to check on some water pressure issues, and he came back and said they had a much worse problem.
He just saw the water meter, like, circling itself, like you could actually see the needle on it going round and round and round.
Okay, what does that mean, the needle going round and round and round?
It means bad things. Like you have your water meter, it actually is like tracking how much water you use, and there's a little like spinning, like kind of like a pinwheel, but normally it goes very slow. If it is spinning very fast, you know you have a serious issue. So they found out later they had a split pipe on their side of the property line. So Megan and Will, they reach out to Birmingham Waterworks, but they didn't know how much it would cost or really could do anything about it until their bill was generated. And this whole time waiting, Megan's husband, Will, he is a nervous wreck. He's checking his phone every day and refreshing his account page.
You know, I've been there. I'm sure a lot of y'all been there when you just refreshing the page, trying to make sure your money there, refreshing the bill, make sure you paid your bill, screenshotting your receipt after you paid it.
Yeah. Well, to make matters worse, like it happens here in Birmingham, they didn't actually get the bill that month. So we had to wait a whole another month before he actually could find out how much he owed.
And one day about 10 o'clock, I reload the water board's page, and I see this bill, and I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah, that'll scare the hell out of me. It would scare my socks off. I'm going to, use good language for the gumbo.
So we got this bill.
This bill right in front of you. It's a bad day.
I'm reading the
Very
bill.
bad day.
It says total account balance $19,526.57.
If you did not catch that, that was a $20,000 water bill for 2 months. $20,000 for 2 months.
Okay, $20,000. All right, how did we get to nearly $20,000?
Well, you know, enough water had leaked to more than fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool, and they suspect it was going like directly into a storm drain, so they never noticed it. But suddenly their dream of like saving up for their own house seemed like a lot further away with like a $20,000 bill hanging over their head. So after weeks of like phone calls and emails, Birmingham Waterworks did agree to cut down their bill.
So that came out to be $3,976.65.
Which is still a lot of money.
It's still a lot of money.
It's still a lot of money.
It is still a lot of money.
Okay, almost $4,000. That's a lot better than 20.
Yeah, it's still a lot of money though, as you were saying. But like, look, the leak was on their side of the property, and the utility did cut the cost down. So you could make this case that, you know, Birmingham Waterworks did everything that it should have here.
I don't disagree. I mean, honestly, I think that what they did was fair.
Do y'all think that's fair? Yeah, I wouldn't think it was. I mean, if you think it's fair, then that's, you know, that's.
Well, look, Will and Megan, they're not fully letting the utility off the hook here. They did say Birmingham Waterworks should have had some way to detect the leak way before it got to this point.
If there was some sort of smart reader in place that could tell you, hey, Will, you're using 10 times more water this month than you were last month. Is everything okay? Something like that could have prevented this way before 800,000 gallons of water had gone down the drain.
Yeah, I feel like something like that should already exist, though.
Yeah, like you say, yeah, but it actually does. This is a thing called a smart water meter. That's the solution here.
Okay, we got smart water meters. We have smart washer and dryers. You know, smartphones, smart TVs.
Okay, but this is a smart change that we could actually really use. Because like smart water meters, they automatically keep track and transmit how much water a home uses. And water experts say this could have really helped here. In tech like that, it is commonplace for tracking things like your power bill. Like I could pull up my email on my phone right now and read a message about like how much electricity I used yesterday. I checked, it was $5. It's Birmingham, I'm using the AC a lot. So, you know, you could check that though.
But you can't do this for water.
No, you can't here in Birmingham because we don't actually have that technology here in Birmingham. And you know, that is common in most places. A lot of water providers, they literally do this old school. You might see this like in your like yard one day, like someone like wandering in. There's literally utility members will come and like they will check the meter physically. And you can imagine it takes a lot of labor, and water providers often can't find enough workers to do this. So, you know, some homes, they go months before getting a reading and a bill, like what happened with the Taylors.
So is there any chance that us in Birmingham, that we'll have smart meters?
Actually, yeah, the Birmingham Waterworks is actually in the process of adopting and installing these. But like we said, this is something that's actually like expensive and difficult to do because, you know, it's not like a power meter where it's like already high up, easy to get a signal out. There's already power going to it. Your water meter is underground, under a lid, a heavy box. It's actually like decently expensive to get this done. It's probably going to take a few years for us to have this in Birmingham, Alabama, prevent these type of nightmare situations.
You know, I have to say, this sounds like a classic Birmingham water bill story, maybe just a little bit more expensive than it normally get. So what makes this your pick to explain what we do here at the Gulf States Newsroom?
Well, it's because, you know, with this like water problem, I always heard of it as like a Birmingham issue. But honestly, we are not alone in this. Like, so again, we've said this a few times, the Gulf States Newsroom, we are an independent newsroom working with public radio stations in Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana that cover those three states. And as I drove through these states over the years, talking to people and sharing their stories, I realized these water bill problems, that's not just a Birmingham thing or an Alabama thing, but across our region. Like, if you think we have it bad here in Birmingham with bills, we should go over to Jackson, Mississippi, and meet James Henley. And James is amazing. This guy is a pastor, he's a lawyer, and he's an accountant. So he's our triple threat. And he posted his water bill on Facebook, and with that, he got to add a fourth title.
It got so many reads that Facebook sent me something that said I could become an influencer if I wanted to. That was hilarious.
I love James' laugh so much.
Everybody's trying to be an influencer right now. You have influencer journalists, you have influencer teachers.
Influencers, accountants, lawyers, pastors. So
Yeah.
he ended up doing the math on his water bill because he was really frustrated with a similar situation people were dealing with across Jackson. And he found out that he was being charged more than $3,000 for the water in his office, like collectively over time. That the water board, Jackson Water, owed him $3,000 because they were estimating his bills. So he made sure they actually came to his office and read his meter.
And they adjusted my water bill by the $3,208. Gave me a credit.
So you said they owed you $3,200 and they gave you $3,200?
Right, because it was based on their meter readings.
Were you like, yes, we did it?
Well, no, what I did was I said, now I'm going to tell everybody else to tell them to come read their water meter and to follow this example that I said of how to analyze it.
Yeah, because he wanted to show that this wasn't just a him problem. This is a problem that everyone in Jackson was dealing with. And, this is a problem in New Orleans as well. They have their water bill nightmares. So we decided a while back to turn this into a whole series we called Utility Bill of the Month. We did one story and 12 different nightmare bills, both water and power problems as well.
I remember reading about you doing that. Before I started at the Gulf States newsroom, I did my research on the team, and I remember seeing the work you was doing. And
you had $20,000 water bill caught your eye.
Yeah, but it was just good work. And at that series, Utility Bill of the Month, it actually won a pretty big award. It won a National Edward R. Murrow Award for investigative reporting, right?
Yeah. Yeah, thank you all. We're pretty proud of that and the work that we got to do in this series, which wasn't just me. We also had other reporters like Drew Hawkins in New Orleans who also contributed to it. But I'm betting some of you listening are thinking about power bill and water bill problems you've had to deal with over the years. And this is really that's our mission, is to make this connection. This is not just a Birmingham problem. Our main goal is showing these connections across our region over issues also like healthcare, economics, criminal justice. We got a sports and culture reporter right here.
Like I said earlier, if y'all got some story ideas, send them to me.
And we are uniquely positioned to make these connections because these issues between our states, because we have a view of our states that few other reporters have.
So, if this is something that you value.
Okay, so this is the part where we ask the crowd to pull out their phones and subscribe to the Gulf States Gumbo. If you're listening on the radio or maybe NPR One, you can subscribe too. Go to your favorite podcast app and search for the Gulf States Gumbo. And if you're listening and already subscribed, thank you so much. If you want to support us even more, leave us a rating and review, will you? You probably heard this on some other podcast, but it really does help more people find the show. Thanks again.
And if you already subscribed, thank you for your support.
Yeah, we really do appreciate the support.
And while people are subscribing or not, I got to know what happened to the Taylors we talked about earlier with the Hughes water bill.
Well, that was coupled with a $20,000 bill that got knocked down to $4,000. And despite that $4,000 bill setback, they were eventually still able to buy their first home, this beautiful one surrounded by big trees.
And it has a septic tank, which we're so thrilled.
Is that normal for somebody to be happy about a septic tank?
Maybe for this crowd, but I feel like normally no. But for them, what they were excited about was that meant no more sewage fees. While they were still giving their water bills to Birmingham Waterworks, they wanted to give the utility as little money as possible.
Also, again, if anybody out there have water bill problems or utility bill problems, what should they do, Stephen?
Yeah, if you go to wbhm.org/bill, you can tell us about your stories, and who knows, might make it onto the radio. That's wbhm.org/bill, or you know what, just DM us on Instagram, and we'll get back to you.
Now, it doesn't have to be $20,000 worth, okay? But send us a story, and we might give you a call. Again, this is Stephan Bisaha, the Economic Mobility Reporter. Thank you again, Stephen.
Hey, thanks for having me.
This week's show is cooked up by the Gulf States newsroom team and recorded live at Saturn in Birmingham. Our theme music is by DJ Supreme. Special thanks to our partner stations, WBHM, Mississippi Public Broadcasting, WWNO, and WRKF. You can find us in your podcast feeds every Friday. Look us up and be sure to subscribe. Again, I'm your host, Joseph King. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to steal your root.
Thank you all.